And welcome to Chicago Reacts. My name is Lauren and today I am looking at a Papa Meat video. I honestly don't remember if I've ever done a Papa Meat video on this channel. I know I've done a couple over on the Learns channel, but you know what? He can join up over here too. Let's go. I've actually he's got so many Halloween things. I'm so excited. I will definitely be watching a bunch of these myself. Because this is interesting. His stuff is very interesting. It's very fun. I've enjoyed a lot of it. Again, I'm not sure if this should go here or if it should go on the other one, but I think I'm just gonna put it here for fun. This one's Trick-or-Treating's most disturbing crimes. Because I am trying to do some more spooky sort of content or Halloween related content this month. And he's got a lot of it. So yeah, I don't really want to take too much more of your time. If you want to see more stuff like this, let me know by hitting the subscribe button and commenting on the video, liking it. All of that lets me know you want to see more Papa Meat. You want to see more spooky content. Yeah, let's go.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on
Doing
and sit
good.
down because today we're talking about trick-or-treating. Halloween used to be a fun time when you were younger. You used to walk
Aw,
around
his
with your
nails are great.
friends, you used to get dressed up, go to school. Everybody was dressed up in creepy costumes and people would come.
Sometimes we dress up still at work. Because sometimes I can get, sometimes, you know, it's Halloween. It's for fun. Tis the season to dress up at work.
Compliment your costume, you feel like a big man. Walk around with your friends afterwards, go get candies and reminisce on all the spooky things that happened during this time of year. But it seems kind of dead, doesn't it? I feel like the last couple of years, there's just no trick-or-treaters at all. It feels like
I've gotten a lot of them.
Meme. Trick-or-treating is a thing of the past. And sure, you have trunk-or-treating, but goddamn, that doesn't count for anything.
No, it really doesn't. But no, in my neighborhood, there's a lot of trick-or-treaters. We get a ton. I mean, it starts super early. It feels really, really weird. It starts at 4 p.m., which to my mind, crazy. I mean, it looks like here it's starting at 11. But yeah, no, trick-or-treat is nothing. They were starting to do that when I was in high school, but because I remember being a kid trick-or-treating, it was always dark by the time we started. We went after dinner is when you went. So it started around 6:30 usually. And now it's it starts at 4. It starts at 4 o'clock. Sometimes earlier. But no, we get a lot of them in my neighborhood, which is great. It's a lot of fun. It's this is the first time, living in where I live now. It's the first time in a long time I've gotten a lot of trick-or-treaters, but it's a blast. It is really fun to see them.
If I'm gonna go walk around a parking lot for a bit on people's trunks, that. So today I wanted to talk about what the hell happened to trick-or-treating, right? What was some of the causes of trick-or-treating's demise? And no, I'm not gonna talk about kids having cell phones and else probably. Well, we might touch on that a little bit, but some people say it was the economy collapse in 2008. Really? People are gonna stop eating Tootsie Rolls and dressing up as a goddamn werewolf because their mom and dad can't pay for a house? Doubtful. Doubtful. Nope. I think it's because of parents are too afraid to send their kids out into this crazy, crazy world. And hell, I think even kids are too afraid to go out into this crazy, crazy world. There's a lot of stories, a lot of crazy things seem to happen during this time of year. And a lot of dangerous things seem to happen as well. Let's go down the dark rabbit hole of the dangers of trick-or-treating.
I will say that I know that the razor blades and candy thing was a thing that people were freaked out for a while, even though it wasn't true. It was one guy who killed his family for the life insurance, and but then suddenly it became a whole thing. But
Video sponsored by Pretty Litter. Do you have cats? I'll tell you what, I wish I didn't. At my house, we're always playing a fun game of where's that smell coming from?
all over.
Home that can't control their urine, like mine. Or if you want to find out more about the health of your cat's urine, you need Pretty Litter.
I've heard of Pretty Litter.
Veterinarians, and it's a great way to monitor your cat at home. Pretty Litter has crystals that help absorb odor and moisture, keeping your house smelling
magic crystals. Love it.
And the litter will change colors based on the pH of your cat's urine, so you can monitor any potential health issues easily. Yellow and green litter is good to go, and orange and red or blue may mean it's time to see a vet to check out that pussy. We have some cats at the house with health issues, so my wife loves the color-coded monitoring system. When the house smells better and pee is where it's supposed to be, everyone is happy.
I mean, I will say, if the cats are just peeing not in the litter box, it's not helpful, but
Pretty Litter keeps tabs on my cat's health and keeps odors down. Go to prettylitter.com/PapaMeat.
Oh, that's fun.
Papa Meat to save 20% off your
the
first order.
infomercial vibe.
Thank you, Pretty Litter, for
That's
sponsoring
great.
this video. And back to the video.
Let's
Starts off
go.
a lot with, people getting candy. right? Knock on a door, trick or treat, and then use your given candy. But sometimes there has been reports of people getting dangerous things inside of candy or instead of candy, right? In many cases, the source of malicious Halloween candy tampering is hard to track down. Because of this, people are convinced that most of these stories are just fear-mongering, right? There's a lot of stories out there, but not a lot of proof. And a lot of people use this as ways to basically diminish, maybe even slander the name of Halloween. But these instances can be real. Much like in 2019, Jason Rax from Waterbury, Connecticut was arrested on Halloween night for tampering with children's Halloween candy. All right, that's a bad charge to have already. You're already on the list if you're tampering with Halloween candy like that. Several Waterbury residents reported to police that there were razor blades in their children's Halloween baskets. It was noted that the razor blades were loose and not found inside the candy.
Right, I can't remember if this is the guy who did it, like because he did it specifically for his kids. I remember there was a guy, and then there was, but I think he was trying to like shift blame or like make it not an obvious attack.
Themselves. Just throwing in a handful of razors. Gillette razors just flopping around some Tootsie Rolls due to Milk Dud boxes. The man believed to be responsible for this incident was 37-year-old Jason Rax, who was taken into custody almost immediately. Rax told the police that they accidentally spilled the candy bowls that he used to hand out the treats in.
Okay.
Same bowl.
Yeah, all right.
Random razor.
All my razors.
Bowl we so happen to have our Skittles in, man. Don't you believe me?
Weird.
And I hate to say this too, but I will say this looks like a man who would hand out razor blades.
Yeah, I can see that.
You're purposely looking fucking terrible in these shots, right?
I think I've read that they purposely wait
just a long time, so you're just tired as shit. Yeah. When questioned, Rax could not explain how the blades got to the children's baskets without being noticed. In what world could he like accidentally not stab the shit out of his hand by being like, oh my god, wait,
right? Ow.
There's no way he can fumble around. Here you go, kids. Wait, what is that shiny metallic object that I just put into that kid's basket? I don't know.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm gonna give him the benefit of doubt. I think he went to Lowe's, got his candy there and razor blades, and then he just dumped the basket.
Why Lowe's for razor blades?
Why not Lowe's for razor blades? All right, interesting. Because I was under the impression that, yeah, most of this was just fake stuff. Like most of the razor blades in candy. The razor blades in candy, I think, never happened. But like this stuff makes more sense when it was just like loose candy. No, I do remember I feel like the one time there was actually something in the candy. It was the guy who killed his family.
Why Lowe's?
I don't think it was a razor blade. I think it was poison or something.
He picked up all his fun-sized family bag of candies. He's like, I'm going to give out candies this year. Usually I don't. I'm going to this year. I got to clean up. I got to shave. Picked up a bunch of razor blades. You know, whenever you get home, you have your bags of groceries on your counters. And then you're handling it's all your goodies you bought. Ooh, I get you're snacking all the stuff you want to snack on. And then coincidentally, not with the sleight of a hand. Oops, in the bowl with the candy. That's probably what happened. He was ultimately charged with the risk of injury to a minor, reckless endangerment, and interfering with a police officer. His bond was set to $250,000. Luckily, no children were injured through the whole ordeal. Thank God. Which, there are many reported instances of sharp metal objects being sneakily hidden inside candy wrappers and handed out to kids, which is a sentence that I never thought I would say.
I feel like that kind of thing happens more often at the factory, though. Like, it's not a malicious, like, trying to hurt children. It's like, I mean, I've gotten weird stuff in, like, the food before. Like, sometimes you open a wrapper and it's like, oh, there is a thing in, like, there's a thing in here. I need to get better about actually finishing my sentences. I tend to let them hang or stop in the middle. I do need to get better about actually finishing what I'm saying, finishing my thoughts. But no, I feel like if you find things like staples or like, hair or like plastic in those, it's usually a factory thing, not a person who gave it to you thing.
And I didn't think that it was that common, but apparently it is. And in one case, an 11-year-old was sent to the hospital after eating a foreign metal object hidden inside a Reese's peanut butter cup.
Yeah, I think that's probably the factory, though.
That happened to me, dude. She was rushed to the hospital soon after to have it surgically removed. I don't know, did you eat the fucking Reese's Putt in one fucking gulp? Goddamn, dude. Bite
well, maybe it was the little guy,
into it.
Didn't even chew it.
Yeah, she's like, She's like, I hate chewing chocolate. It happened again in 2021 when it was reported that a sewing needle was found crammed inside of a Kit Kat bar and another in a pack of Sour Patch Kids.
Were they skewered on?
They skewered it in, and the picture of that is that is crazy.
I mean, it also kind of looks like that feels, I don't know. I feel like the Kit Kat one, that feels like something that the parent of the child, like, I don't think that was given out to that kid. I think that parent organized that. I feel like some of that was organized by people who are trying to make this thing happen, you know? Like, I just don't think that it is coming from, I think you'd have to look directly at the person who is bringing the story to the news a little bit harder first. That they would be my first suspect. It's Occam's razor blades. You know, whatever is the most obvious answer is probably the right one. Most obvious answer of somebody shoving a needle into a Kit Kat bar and bringing it to the news, it's probably the person who did that. Especially in this day and age with TikTok and everyone is doing all sorts of crazy shit to get noticed and clout online.
People were so worried that a local community hospital offered to provide x-rays of any candy distributed to trick-or-treaters using a portable x-ray machine. Ohio police called it truly disturbing. Yeah! Look at that Kit Kat! My God, what kind of psychopath? Yeah. Listen, dude, I get it.
But like, if it was in the Kit Kat, if it's popping out of the wrapper like that, you're gonna notice that, you know?
To put a needle.
Even a 5-year-old would notice that.
Eat it. To be that mentally fucking disturbed, then to also be like, have fun out there tonight. And as they're walking away, they turn around, they're just like, you know what I mean? Fucking psychopaths. Offering free x-rays for the bad stuff in candies has been pretty notable and was even pretty big in the 80s. And even last year in 2023, Wisconsin parents discovered that their child's Halloween candy included a Tootsie Roll with a nail in it. Isn't that fun? The parents posted an image to Facebook to alert other parents, showing that she already been injured upon finding it. Dude,
okay.
We can't show the whole bloody ass thumb. There's the nail.
Well, we did.
With all these stories about sharp objects being put inside candy, the culprit seems to never be found. It might lead you to be skeptical, but it's still terrifying to imagine nonetheless. But
true.
This is just the tip of the iceberg.
Ooh.
How many of those that we just talked about do you think are real?
That Facebook one, that seems fake. Ow, I poked my finger.
Well, I was gonna say, what, you're gonna set up a shot of like, I mean, also my fucking nails are, I don't even know if we're gonna release the pumpkin spice thing. There's been a couple videos, all right? They're gel. I can't peel them off, they're fucking gel. It hurt, it burned. I had to put my hand inside this illuminated box, and it was scolding. I was like, ow. And she was just like, just wait a second, it'll go away. And I was like, I put it back in, and yeah, these motherfuckers are not coming off. And I felt really stupid because I was like, so tonight, how do I get these off? She said, tonight? I said, yeah, can I peel these off tonight? And she's like, oh, these are supposed to be on for 3 weeks. And I said, So that's the whole thing. I was going to do it, doesn't matter. But yeah, staging it in front of all your aesthetic candy and shit too. Come on, man.
Yeah.
That shit seems set up. Even the way that the nails poking out.
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
How did she stab herself? The nail was pointing down and it stabbed her thumb.
Well, I mean, it's still protruding out of the wrapper. You could still fucking poke your thumb, Nick. How did she do
It does seem like a crazy thing to do, though, to like poke yourself. Like, I mean, again, like I said, people will do anything for clout, though. The number of, look, I watch, again, this is what I was saying. I need to finish a thought. I have not finished a single thought in this video. It's terrible. Anyway, back to freaking basics. Give me some freaking Adderall. Okay, so the thought I was trying to communicate was, I watch a lot of commentary YouTubers on here just for fun for me. I don't know who the people are in the videos, all of these famous live streamers and TikTokers that I've never heard of, and I'm glad I've never heard of, but I do like to watch them crashing out. I have seen some wild stuff. The amount of crimes people will film themselves committing for a clout or a TikTok challenge, or for $5 super thanks, you know, it's absolutely mind-boggling. So I feel like injuring yourself to capitalize on a fear that a lot of people have around this time of year, it is not within, it's fully within the realm of possibility. 100% I believe someone would do that. 100%. It's very sad. It's a sad state of affairs.
The papers there protected the nail. What the hell? But in 2014, an Ohio mother checked her son's candy to find 4 boxes of Milk Duds, each filled with 22 caliber bullets.
See, that also seems like that could have been a legitimate accident, though. Like, that does seem like it could have been a legitimate mistake. People put weird things in weird containers all the time. Like, I don't know. I've got this cup right here. In this cup, USB drives. Just like, I don't know. I have some weird boxes that are full of just bizarre things that I'm like, why is that in there? And so if you're eating Milk Duds and cleaning your gut and like, okay, just put them somewhere, keep them contained, and then they sort of still sound like a rattling Milk Dud. I feel like that's a mistake you could legitimately make if you're just a little bit dumb.
That's insane.
Well, it is insane. I'll tell you why, because Milk Duds are my favorite candy. All right. And everyone gets mad at me when I say that. Does it take 7 years to chew one Milk Dud?
I like a Milk Dud.
But guess what? That's what makes it so good. It's work through it to enjoy no pain, no gain, as they say, right?
And then you eat fewer of them.
Finding 22 caliber bullets inside the Milk Dud box, that's wrong. Okay? Chrissy Campbell's 4-year-old son, Landon, came home, bringing along some candy that was given to him from his preschool. What are you going to give bullets to a kid for? I mean, what the fuck do you expect him to, a 4-year-old to show up to school with a gun like that? What are you talking about? He has to have the 22 caliber gun, dude. If you're going to fuck with kids like that, at least make it to where, I don't know.
Well, see, that's why I was saying I think it makes more sense that one would be an accident. Like, you had your own, they were for you. You were just trying to keep things organized on your own, or be able to, like, carry bullets with you, and it looks like a pack of Milk Duds, so that way you have them with you at all times and no one's going to be like, oh, illegal, you know? I feel like that's something that is, or if, like, you know, you did that, you're got a gun, you were cleaning the bullets, you're hiding them away and kind of secreting them around so that you can carry them around with you, and then it's Halloween, your wife sees a box of Milk Duds, a basket of Milk Dud boxes, she's like, oh, thank God, I forgot about Halloween, and then she just puts them in with the rest of the candy, hands them out. I feel like that's a thing that could happen. I feel like that is 100% a thing that could happen.
It's a thing full of tacks. And they're like, ooh, and they eat it. Chocolate, blood all the time. During a Halloween event, parents handed out homemade bags of candy to children. The Milk Dud boxes were given to the child inside a small black bag that said, eat, drink, and be scary. What's even creepier is that the large bag that contained these items had the children's name written on them. The motherfucker knew who they were.
No.
All right? That's a little, I'm not gonna lie, that's actually legitimately pretty creepy.
That feels like a threat.
Yeah, what the hell?
Nobody at the preschool would comment on the matter, and the Peebles Police Department began an investigation. They also planned to work with the prosecutor's office to determine what charges would apply. There appears to be no update as to whether or not the culprit was found. But how? How many kids are in the class? It's like, just bring all the parents in and be like, hello?
Yeah.
Which one? It's like one guy with like, he's like super tall, and he's like a giant like trench coat.
Not me.
Which one of you did this? It's the guy with like loading a gun in the back. We gotta protect our kids. George, your child died drowning 6 months ago. What are you doing here? Just miss her.
It's so sad.
Be like that, you know what I mean? If I can't have my baby girl, no one can have their baby girls.
So I'm going to give them bullets
Mom
with no
saw
gun.
Milk Dud boxes, shook them. Oh, they're Milk Duds. And the guy was handing.
What the hell are you saying? Chocolate orbs are not gonna sound like bullet casings.
Maybe.
Ding, 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 ding. That's what a Milk Dud sounds like. Sounds like
Maybe.
a little canister.
Look, that is exactly what I said. That is what I said might have happened. I don't know. I've never held bullets. I don't. And it's been a long time since I have eaten a Milk Dud. It's not, look, I said the exact same thing.
For pennies. I like how you're sympathetic to the mom who's just like, yep, those are Milk Duds. Start popping off in her hand.
That's not how bullets work, though.
saying, I think that.
You seem like the fucking guy that would do it then, dude. Are you kidding me? I don't see the big deal. I didn't. Easy mistake for anybody, really. If razor
I just said that.
weren't bad enough, imagine checking your child's Halloween candy and finding drugs. Oh my god.
Drugs.
Drugs. No! Like in 2019, when a mother from North Plains found a purple chewable Advil pill in her child's Halloween candy, disguised as a sweet tart. I don't even know. If I'm being completely honest, this is how bad of a parent I'd be. I'd be like, you have a headache? You You know what I mean? If you needed an Advil, just let me know. I'll give you an Advil. Is Advil that bad? Can you get hooked on one Advil? I mean, like, if it was like, here's a whole thing of Advil, I'd be like, well, that's irresponsible. But I think it was just one.
Yeah, if the whole sweet tart thing was Advil.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Otherwise, this one also seems like it could have been an accident.
Typically, the most common culprit that is found in candy is meth. Hey, who's got a sweet tooth? I know I do. Horror stories like this have consumed parents around the Halloween season, specifically due to a recent story involving fentanyl, the boogeyman. The boogeyman
of drugs.
Of the drugs lately. In October of 2022, 12,000 suspected fentanyl pills were found in various bags of candy, as reported by the DEA agents at LAX, just at the airport. 12,000 pills. What the fuck is fentanyl?
Okay.
Oh my God, look.
So that seems like it was not necessarily meant to be for Halloween candy. That just seems like a smuggling operation, not for Halloween. That seems like someone was trying to get away with something.
Look at that. Look at the this Whopper's case. Okay, Whopper certainly has changed their design. It's also anybody carrying around a box of sweet tarts. Check that mother. Eats sweet tarts or even Whoppers for that matter, dude.
I liked Whoppers.
Malt balls.
I like them.
That's like some 1950s candy, dude.
Yeah.
Popcorn and malt
It's good.
because they have nothing else. People were just like, why don't you
liked
eat
Whoppers.
anything else? Literally. Coca-Cola and malt balls. Put me in a fentanyl flop over getting a box of sweet tarts and Whoppers, dude. Are you kidding me? Unfortunately, the suspect fled prior to being detained, but has been identified and is currently part of an ongoing investigation. Once again, nobody really arrested besides the first guy at the very beginning.
And nothing to do with Halloween.
How have we not caught anybody else? Now I kind of believe him too. It feels like an accident. Everything else that's real, they're getting away left and right. He's
Right? I mean, and I was like, I figured out a way that the Milk Duds thing could have been an accident, even though he shot a hole in that one with his 22. I don't know. I'm just saying a lot of the actual stuff found in candy could be found in any candy, any time of the year. It feels like a lot of them are factory mistakes. Feels like things could have just gotten in the wrong box sometimes. Feels like the Advil in the candy was definitely a mistake. That seems like a pure accident. Just a free-floating Advil chewable tablet. I mean, I don't know how that happens, but again, that could be you had stuff in a bag and just dumped it, and there was, you know, I found random free-floating things in my pockets a few times. It's like, oh, where did I get that from? I don't know. Toss, yeah. Just saying, there's been, like he was saying, no one's ever been caught. It really doesn't seem like there is a actual plethora of predators poisoning candy. You know, it just doesn't seem like that's a real thing. And then you get to the fentanyl thing with the candy. That was just a smuggling operation. That has nothing to do with Halloween. And maybe it just happened around Halloween, but
I have nothing to hide.
oh my God, I need to shut up.
It's an accident. Even back in 2017, reports of fentanyl blotters were found all around Canada during Halloween time. Blotters are a type of paper used to carry liquid solution of a drug. Typically, you see that with the LSD you put in your tongue. Don't take the brown LSD. That kind of thing. That's a blotter. Oh, look at that one. That one's cute. It has a little witch on it.
Little witch.
How festive and fun. Eat this
Yeah,
razor
right?
blade. Although many believe the spread of fentanyl in Halloween candy is widely overblown, it still seems to have most parents terrified.
That one's believable because a lot of these are like, oh, why would someone hand out weed brownies or whatever when fentanyl's so cheap?
What is fentanyl? Is it like a muscle relaxer kind of thing or no?
It's manufactured in China.
Chinese and their opioids, huh? Those
Well,
love those.
Britain
opioids.
gave it to him, so blame Britain.
I keep wanting to say opioids.
Oh boy,
He's loved their boys, huh?
That's
One of the
Britain did that.
stories that started the tampered candy panic occurred in 1959.
Right.
Dr. William Shine pranked his entire neighborhood on Halloween night. What does a prank in 1959 look like, huh? I'm gonna prank everyone.
Everyone's gonna take a laxative.
Did you let us go home now? He just like smiles at it. The mad dentist handed out 450 candy-coated laxatives to the local trick-or-treaters. They're all going to poop themselves. Then they...
Oh, I'm so funny.
It was reported that 30 kids fell violently ill. In the end, they recovered, but likely had their holiday ruined. It feels like it's a dentist being like, see, candy's bad for you.
Let me look at your beautiful teeth.
You'd think dentists would want kids to eat candy so they could do surgery on them and get money.
Yeah, I always imagine that every dentist is like sadistic. Like they love seeing
Oh, you have a cavity.
with like a
I'm a dentist.
Have to fill it today.
put it on your deal and they're like rotating around, whatever. It looks like a fucking like Tim Burton device or something.
I have to get the cavity. It's very deep.
The townsfolk traced the tampered with candy back to Shine's place.
How? The townsfolk did that?
Crimes, including outrage of public decency and an unlawful dispensing of drugs, which in 1959, you know, the guy was just like, hey, they pooped. They pooped.
Get over it.
You shit every day. Look at you. God. People are so soft now. Becky ate a nail yesterday. They're like, those are nails, not pharmaceuticals, doctor. This is just one of the many rare stories that instilled fear in the minds of parents around the Halloween season. And these are the kind of stories, too, I can tell. Definitely, you'd say, well, did you hear about this one? Oh, like holding your daughter back. Oh, or what about her? Go home, run, go home. But in 2023, an 11-year-old child was given laced treats by a group of boys on electric scooters.
Okay.
Ski mask.
Okay, so teenagers being assholes.
Hoodlums or thugs.
Or teenagers.
One day in Christchurch, New Zealand, a schoolboy was trick-or-treating with his friends for the very first time in the suburb of Parkland with his mates. When he was picked up by his mother, she was told that the boy ate treats offered by random boys on the street.
Oh.
Red flag number one.
That was just an idiot.
Anybody. My age or whatever.
Random boys.
If you came up to me and you're like, eat this, I'd be like, no.
No.
Random boy. Ski mask on? Imagine someone like a masked person. Eat this. Okay. I don't give a fuck how young I was. There's no way I would do that. Would you?
I did that to my friend. I gave him cat food. Cat treat.
Did he eat it?
Yeah, he took a bite. He's like, what is this?
He couldn't smell that it was a cat treat?
They're really tiny.
Did they look like candy? I mean, they're probably coarse and they look like cat food, I would imagine.
They're like little stars and fish shaped.
But it probably looked like cat food though, right?
Probably.
As soon as he ingested the treat, his throat and mouth started to burning and his lips were tingling. Soon after, he started to have bad stomach pains. What the fuck? Did they give him like cyanide or something? God damn. Not knowing what was ingested, the mother began panicking. The child, who had serious allergies. Yeah, I like how he's like, I'm allergic to everything. They're like, eat this. Okay, fine. I'm allergic to everything, but I'll eat whatever you tell me. He had serious allergies. Thought he was about to undergo anaphylactic shock. He choked to death. As the night progressed, the boy began to throw up repeatedly, and the stomach pains became more and more severe. And eventually, the mother's teenage daughter alerted her that there was talk of teenage boys putting laxatives in lollycakes. What is up with laxatives, dude? Apparently, they had been handing them out.
Because they're like, and I feel like what's up with it is it feels like a harmless prank. Because it's just, oh, you're gonna shit. And like, honestly, depending on what year this was, I don't remember. But, I mean, in the movie The Iron Giant, the kid Hogarth puts laxatives, like chocolate-looking laxatives, in Kent Mansley's ice cream sundae to get him off his ass. So I feel like it definitely shows up in kids' media as like a funny, harmless sort of prank. It makes a person have to poop a lot and it makes them uncomfortable. Like, it's still a dickhead move to do, but it was portrayed in a lot of movies as harmless. So I feel like that's what's up with laxatives.
Out all night to unsuspecting children. If I was a younger guy and I was like, I'm going to give away lollipops to kids and it's going to make them shit their pants, on paper, pretty funny. In practice, horrible. Also, if your kid is like severely, let me just go off on this mom a little bit.
Yeah, if your kid is severely allergic to everything, go trick-or-treating with them.
And he's like, I just ate something random. My stomach hurts. My lips are burning. Why would you just be like, well, we'll see what happens in let's give it a few hours. Why would you not rush him to the hospital? There's enough time for your teenage daughter to come home and be like, oh yeah, kids are putting like pharmaceuticals and lollipops. She's like, oh good, you're just going to poop for a while, sweetheart. Have a good night. And the kid's like,
He might have still been allergic to something in that homemade treat, though.
What? Let's give an award for worst mom so far of the year.
Have you ever drugged your friends?
No. Have you drugged your friends?
No.
One friend.
Why?
Well, it was a month prior to my birthday. He like put caramel in my ear when I was sleeping, and I got a huge infection. So for my birthday, I had my brother put sleeping pills in his drinks.
That's illegal.
So that he could fall asleep.
That sounds illegal.
We could fuck with him. Well, he never fell asleep, but yeah, it was illegal.
Yeah, that's hella illegal.
Sound miserable. Caramel in your ear? That sounds
Ugh, that's
fucking awful
gross.
as well.
Well, I was at the birthday party. The rule was whoever fell asleep, everyone gets to fuck with. I had a
Well,
tummy-
yeah.
Don't say tummy.
Tummy ache.
Put caramel in your ear too, dude. My tummy hurts still, but don't mess with me. Like, I'm f***ing with that guy. In 2017, a mother from Florida discovered a prescription painkiller, tramadol, in her 3-year-old son's candy bag after attending a treat street event. God damn, once again, it's like we're on the same street. You know what I mean? Which one of you put fucking tramadol in my son's Tootsie Roll wrapper? The Riverview Chamber of Commerce claims that after 29 years of running the event, this has never happened that we know of, right? They believe that it was merely an accident rather than a malicious or intentional act.
It's a painkiller. It's probably over the counter. Just
Oh, I'm sorry, he's gonna feel good for a while. They bring in some like weird gossiping shit, you know what I mean? We hear you yelling at your husband, Teresa, so he probably needs it. In 2023, a prescription drug, clonazepam pill, was found in their child's Halloween candy. Clonazepam is used to treat
Clonazepam.
panic or anxiety attacks. It was found on a plastic bag decorated with candy corn, quote, along with various pieces of mixed candy.
it's just
Again.
It's just loose, unwrapped candy and a candy corn bag. Halloween is here.
Again, that could easily have been just a mistake if they were just actually just putting candies in a bunch of different packages like that, and I don't know, it would just happen to be there. Maybe they were getting they had to take it later, and they had to take it with food, so it was at the kitchen table, and just in preparation for dinner time when they were going to take their painkiller with their dinner, and they were just, as they were putting stuff into the bags, it got in there. I don't know. I feel like that's obviously that could easily be an accident. Every single time it's just one. It's one thing. One family, one thing. It's like that. How can you say that was malicious? That had to have been an accident. It had to have been.
Once again, no culprit was found. Of course, why not? But the Sireville Police Department made a statement on Facebook warning people to examine their children's candy. If you're not doing that already, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Come on. I don't think my mom ever, I don't think he ever did. I remember one time.
Nobody ever checks my
like
candy.
what was those hard candies that had the fucking strawberry wrapper?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those hard candies? I unwrapped one of them. There was a long black hair wrapped around it. What did my ass did? I did. You know what I mean? Sick for 3 days afterwards. Oh, too much sugar. Not realizing I probably just ate like pubic hair or something like that. In the year
Ew.
2000, police began an investigation over the discovery of Snicker bars crammed with bags of marijuana. On Halloween night, at least 9 Snicker bars were filled with marijuana and passed out to unknown trick-or-treaters in Hercules. The police had a few leads to follow, but ultimately were not able to find the source.
I mean, again, always never able to find the source, but also, again, that feels like it could have been an accident. Like they made that shit for their friends and they mixed up the Snick. Like that could have been a mistake.
How is it possible that just
Especially if they'd already eaten like 2 of the Snickers bar. 100% that was an accident.
is found? No one comes forward. Every
It's another reason I don't believe a lot of this
find the next
stuff.
one. I'm rage quitting. In 2018, 2 parents were sent to the hospital after eating meth-laced Halloween candy. God damn. Now that's a fucking trick or treat right there. Holy shit. You just got tricked.
So they ate their kids' Halloween candy and
Why
got
are you tricking us?
methed.
You just got tricked. The Oregon Sheriff's Office made a statement about Halloween candy reportedly being altered in the Aloha community. While the family was trick-or-treating, they ate a packet of Sour Patch Kids and began to feel sick. The leftover candies were taken in for an investigation and were tested positive for presence of methamphetamine. Fortunately, none of their children ingested any of the laced candy, which I think is unfair. I think it worked.
And also suspicious. Again, I feel like some of these things are like, I think that maybe mom and dad wanted to try some party drugs and found a convenient excuse. Especially if literally nobody else in the entire neighborhood ended up with the same issue. I am suspicious. If every single time it's only one family, it's either completely targeted or something suspicious is going on, or it was an accident. Those are the three options. I don't believe these people are being targeted. I'm more likely to believe that it was an accident or that the parents were like, they have an ulterior motive.
We got to go down as a family. If daddy and mommy eat a piece of meth Sour Patch Kids, then I think the children should as well. Only fair, right? Who bought you the costume? Daddy and Mommy did. A police sheriff in 2022 shared his story of being forced to eat LSD-laced candy when he was a young child. On Halloween day,
Held at
6-year-old
gunpoint? What?
Andrew Brunson attended a trick-or-treat fair to play games and go on rides. While there, he encountered a bizarre adult that repeatedly insisted he eat a piece of candy he had in his hand.
Never happened.
Repeatedly.
Never happened. Didn't happen.
Horse, dude. It's just right there. Eat it. You're hungry, aren't you? He went so far as to open it up himself and put it in his mouth.
I don't believe that-
He ate the candy without giving it much thought. He's like,
I don't believe this story
in
happened.
the hospital after his mother saw him unconscious on the ground.
I don't believe it.
Today, the police sheriff urges parents to be aware of where their kids are on Halloween and to walk in the neighborhoods during the daytime.
I do not believe that happened.
Candy, and they're like, and then it's just black, and you wake up and you're like,
That's horrifying.
it's absolutely horrifying. That's so fucked up. It was Halloween, 1964, when 13-year-old Elsie Drucker and her 15-year-old sister Irene were almost killed from ingesting arsenic hidden inside of Halloween candy.
Arsenic?
Sorting through the Halloween candy,
Arsenic,
two ant buttons were discovered. These are tools used to
Oh.
kill insects and pesticides, all that kind of shit, right? The community was alerted of this, leading to 19 more ant buttons to be discovered in other houses in the neighborhood. With the help of the two children, the police were able to trace the toxic treats
Good
to the home of a
job, children.
47-year-old housewife named Helen Feel. Finally, we get justice of one of these motherfuckers, dude. Finally, we get a face. Especially a 47-year-old housewife named Helen Feel, but didn't have anything better to do.
We got too many ant buttons. I don't got any more ants. You take them.
She was charged with child endangerment and held the risk of facing prison time. As you probably should, dude. What the fuck? Yeah.
Wait, so I'm really gonna go to the big house for this one?
Yeah. According to Feel's husband, the whole thing was a joke. What a hoot and a holler. Helen, however, had a strange
Dang.
motive behind her actions. She told the courtroom that she, quote, didn't mean it maliciously and intentionally handed out the poisonous treats to people who should have already aged out of the activity.
I gave it to other people who I thought were too old.
Judgy! What a bitch!
What? As it turned out, Helen was also handing out dog biscuits and steel wool as well. Hilariously enough, Helen's husband spent Halloween night trick-or-treating with her teenage sons, who were likely older than the people she divvied out the poison to. Field was forced to undergo 60 days in a psychiatric hospital as a result of her heinous actions.
So fucking
The
judgy.
loony bin. Yeah, exactly. They were ant buttons! Helen pleaded guilty in the middle of her trial, but her case was ultimately suspended and was chalked up to a mere stupidity rather than genuine malice, which is so this is like 1960s justice.
No, that felt malicious. She was making judgment calls and acting as judge, jury, and executioner.
She's a crazy broad.
If it had just been the dog treats,
in. All right.
I would say maybe not malicious, but the fact that some of it was poison is crazy, that she didn't get a harsher sentence.
Helen, he's like, like all spazzed out and shit, hair all. She's like, no problem, Your Honor. Judge Thomas M. Stark said, I don't understand why she had done such a stupid thing as this, but I feel incarceration is not the answer. What a man of the
Maybe
people.
for a little bit.
A political beacon of justice.
Maybe for a
One of
month
the most
at least.
tragic instances of Halloween laced candy was that of Ronald O'Brien, dubbed the man who killed Halloween. It was a rainy Halloween night in 1970.
This is the one I heard of.
Ronald O'Brien went out trick-or-treating with his children near his home in Deer Park suburb of Houston. They joined the Bates family as their two kids traveled as a group. Nice family out, nice Halloween night, right? The rain had poured so intensely that the night had to end early. Before bed, Timothy requested a treat, to which O'Brien recommended the pixie sticks, even going so far as to help pour the candy into his son's mouth. Within 90 minutes, Timothy was pronounced dead. His daughter Elizabeth
Wow.
had also chosen the pixie sticks, but she survived because she was unable to open the pixie sticks. As it turns out, both Timothy and Elizabeth's candy had been poisoned. According to investigators, O'Brien filled the top 2 inches of pixie sticks with granules of potassium cyanide. What a fucking monster. Especially to think that the guy was just like, all right, open up. Ooh, big Halloween night.
I gotta go check on your sister.
Parents across Texas began to freak out over the possibility that their children would be poisoned as well. And in response, they threw away all Halloween candies that were collected. Hence O'Brien's nickname, the man who killed Halloween. Shockingly, there were more than just 2 laced pixie sticks. In fact, 5 other children were given the same candy from Ronald. Ronald was tasked with locating the other pixie sticks.
Again, yes, see, this is what I was saying. That's what I was saying earlier. I was pretty sure that like the main one that there was multiple, Like the main reason that people believe this stuff is because of this guy who killed his kids and also handed out other candy to other children to make it seem like a bigger issue. And you know what? Honestly, I was correct. That is basically what has happened. Every other instance that we've discussed so far has either not been about Halloween or it's been a very isolated incident that seems like it could have been a mistake. So
there was no way to find the exact whereabouts of where those pixie sticks were at. The police turned their attention to O'Brien.
Except for the razor
after
blades and the
finding out that
candy.
He had taken out $30,000 in life insurance policies for both his children. It's so stupid. It's so suspicious. You know, just what's your highest you can go? 30,000. Yeah, both of them. I was planning on keeping one of them, but with the amount, sure, fine. I'll settle with 30.
You know what's crazy? Nowadays, it costs about like $20,000 just to give birth to a child in the hospital. You're not even making that much money now.
It also costs $76,000 for a truck. Prices sure have skyrocketed, haven't they, Nick? Not only was he trying to profit off the deaths of his children, he was willing to involve other innocent kids in an attempt to make the crime appear random. In fact, his own insurance agent admitted that Ronald called him within hours of Timothy's death to begin processing the claim. How f***ed up is that? Hey, man, you want to go ahead and run those numbers. They're gone. They're long gone. That's horrible. Yeah. Run it. On June 3rd, O'Brien was sentenced to death via electric chair. He was executed on March 31st, 1984. He maintained his innocence all the way to the end, stating, quote, "Because I have no guilt, I've really got nothing to worry about." What a man, Ronald. What a man. One of my favorite crazy Halloween incidents when I was a kid, it didn't have to do with necessarily drugs or anything, but there was one time I saw these kids go up to a house. They asked, trick or treat. The guy was like, "Leave me alone." Because the whole indicator too is if somebody is doing trick or treating, their lights are on. So you know, if their lights are off, it means no one's home. His lights were on and the kids were like, "Trick or treat," and he's like, "I'm not fucking doing it here." And they're like,
I've had that happen to me
on.
too.
He went over to his, there's a little garden bed next to him, and he gave like a handful of rocks and put it in their bags, and he's like, "There you go, now fuck off." And the kids immediately went, took the rocks out, and just like pelted the windows out of his car. He came out, "What the fuck?" He turned his light off after that though. That was the one big one. I kept my rock.
You did?
Yeah. I got a rock from him.
I got a rock.
To be this joyous time for children, and me personally now, I loved trick-or-treating back then, but now it's just a time, it's an excuse to just get in the spirit of watching crazy-ass fun movies and having this kind of weird decor, feeling this looming kind of spooky vibe. And it's a shame nowadays that it's like, I look around, you don't see any of that kind of camaraderie with kids anymore, or even maybe one day me having another child, especially the one after the fire. I'd like to take my kid out trick-or-treating, experience the things that I used to experience when I was a kid. And it's a shame that people have to go and ruin such a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I do have to say this. If you are planning on going and trick-or-treating this Halloween season, or maybe you're taking your kiddos or your puppers out for a nice jaunt around the Halloween trails, maybe check the candy. Maybe keep a nice, spooky eye on all of these crazy, crazy individuals. Until next time, safe trick-or-treating, my friends. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Bye.
Anyway, so I was basically right about most of these things, about most of it actually being panic, and not correct. I mean, again, the first one that they talked about with he put the loose razor blades in there. Okay, that one I didn't remember about that one. But all the other stories do seem they're isolated. There's other explanations, and the only one that really, really was a reason to panic was the guy in Texas who did that to his kids. That was kind of right. But like I said, people trick-or-treat in my neighborhood. I get a lot of children trick-or-treating. The whole neighborhood does. It's great. It's a lot of fun. I have a good time handing out the candy every year. Other places I've lived didn't really have it. In other places in Chicago, because this is the fourth place that I've lived here in Chicago, and the other places didn't really have trick-or-treating as much, but this neighborhood does. It's a good time. I still think it's fun. Pity that it happened so early. I miss the nighttime trick-or-treating. That was a lot of fun. I did get my candy stolen from me one year. A couple of teenage boys stole my candy. That was in the years where we had graduated to the pillowcases. So I had 5 pounds of candy. Probably 2.5 pounds of candy collected. And then I got it stolen, and that year I ended up with more candy than ever before because both of my friends I was with gave me a lot of their candy to kind of help make up for the fact that I didn't have any anymore. And people from my dad's work, like 2 different families from my dad's work found out, like, because he told people at work, I guess, that my candy had gotten stolen. And 2 different families, their kids gave me little extra bags of candy, which I just thought was really sweet. Anyway, that was my Halloween. Thank you for watching this. Like I said before, I mean, I never shut up in this one. Jesus Christ, I made this video last twice as long. Like I said before, I don't remember if I've done Papa Meat videos on this channel before. Definitely I've done them on the other channel on Americans Learn. If you want to see more stuff like that, go ahead and let me know. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.